Right now, while we live our ordinary lives, a quiet race to Mars is unfolding, not in science fiction, but in real mission plans. Countries and companies are already mapping how humans will step on Mars within our lifetime, and some missions might launch sooner than you think. The journey to Mars is not a dream anymore, it is a ticking clock. Imagine the day when the first human boot presses into the red dust of Mars. What will that moment feel like? What will it change about how we see ourselves? This mission is not just about reaching another planet, it is about becoming a multi-planet species. It is about survival, discovery, and a future that may already be in motion. Most people think the Mars mission is a distant idea, but the real timeline might shock you. Space agencies and private companies are working on missions right now. 2025 to 2050 is shaping up to be the most aggressive Mars window in history. What is coming next will redefine human exploration forever. This is not a single mission. It is a long, carefully staged plan. Robotic scouts, cargo landers, human test flights, and finally, boots on Mars. The steps are already being written by scientists, engineers, and visionaries. And according to many sources, the Mars story may begin much sooner than you expect. I am James Miller. Welcome to Cosmolore, where we explore not just the stars, but the real missions that are shaping our future. Today, we are diving into the Mars timeline from 2025 to 2050, based on what current missions and sources reveal. Grab your seat. This is not just a story, it is a timeline you might live through. According to sources, 2025 marks a critical year. NASA plans key robotic cargo launches to test long-distance supply chains. Meanwhile, SpaceX is targeting Starship flights for deep space cargo. This will not be the crewed mission yet, but these supply runs will pave the way for human arrival. Without these early steps, the human mission cannot survive. Elon Musk's SpaceX has outlined an aggressive schedule. By 2025 to 2027, they plan to send multiple Starships toward Mars, loaded with life support systems, fuel depots, and emergency habitats. This is about building a safety net before humans even arrive. The goal is simple: make sure Mars is ready for people. NASA's Artemis missions will be building something special, a lunar gateway orbiting the Moon. By 2028, this station could serve as a critical refueling and staging point for deep space missions, including Mars. This is not science fiction. The gateway is expected to become the launchpad for the long journey toward the Red Planet. Sources suggest the first cargo landers may arrive on Mars between 2027 and 2029. These will not carry humans yet, but they will deliver habitats, rovers, and supplies. If successful, these landers will wait on the surface, ready for the astronauts who will arrive years later. The Red Planet will not feel so empty anymore. Between 2028 and 2030, the first Mars crews will begin full-scale deep space training. This will not be just survival training. They will rehearse long-duration isolation, low-gravity operations, and emergency repairs. Mars crews will need to be explorers, engineers, doctors, and survivalists all at once. They will prepare for the greatest leap in human history. By 2031, the Mars mission will be at its final countdown. Training shifts from simulations to real deep space mock-ups. Sources suggest the crew selection process will intensify. NASA, SpaceX, and international partners will finalize crew rosters. Medical checks, psychological endurance, and mission rehearsals will reach their peak. This is no longer just a plan, it is becoming real. Launch facilities on Earth will evolve for interplanetary missions. SpaceX's Starbase and NASA's facilities will be upgraded to handle larger payloads, more frequent launches, and faster turnaround times. The infrastructure needed to reach Mars is growing rapidly. This is no longer a race, it is a marathon of preparation. By 2032, sources predict a steady stream of cargo will be heading toward Mars. Habitat modules, science equipment, life support systems, and emergency fuel caches will be pre-positioned on the Martian surface. The idea is simple. Everything must be in place before the humans even leave Earth. Failure is not an option. As the timeline pushes forward, more international agencies are expected to join the mission. Sources suggest that the European Space Agency and other global partners will contribute specialized equipment, communication satellites, and scientific support. The Mars mission will no longer be one country's story, it will belong to all of humanity. By 2033, assembly of the crewed Mars spacecraft could begin. Modular components, launched separately, will be assembled in orbit or at the Lunar Gateway. This ship will not be a quick ride. It is being built to carry humans across millions of kilometers for years. It must be strong, reliable, and life-sustaining. 2033 offers one of the most favorable Mars launch windows. According to mission planners, this is the earliest possible date for a crewed Mars mission. The planets will be aligned for the shortest travel time. It is a window that space agencies have been aiming for since the 2020s. Will they make it? The clock is ticking. As the launch window approaches, the Mars crew will enter their most intense training phase. They will live in deep space analog habitats, test zero-gravity repairs, and simulate communication delays. By this time, they will know that they are carrying the weight of human history. The world will be watching. If the mission stays on schedule, the Mars transfer ship could launch between late 2033 and early 2034. This ship may depart uncrewed first to test long-distance systems, or it may launch directly with the first crew on board. Either way, the journey to Mars is about to become very real. Imagine the world watching as a crew finally leaves Earth orbit, heading for Mars. The journey could take 6 to 9 months. The spacecraft will carry everything: life support, food, water, science labs, and the hopes of millions. There will be no quick return. This is commitment on a cosmic scale. If all goes well, by 2035, the crew could reach Mars orbit. Landing sites, previously loaded with cargo, will be ready. Robotic scouts will guide the safest descent paths. The crew will prepare for the most dangerous part of the mission, the landing. Stepping onto Mars will no longer be science fiction. It will be human history. According to mission timelines, the first human landing on Mars could happen in 2036. It will be the most dangerous landing in human history. Thin atmosphere, dust storms, and unknown terrain will push the limits of every system. If successful, this will be the day humans become an interplanetary species. The first step on Mars will change everything. Within days of landing, the crew will activate the pre-delivered habitats. These inflatable living spaces will protect them from radiation and harsh temperatures. Inside, they will build a life on a planet where no human has ever survived. This is not a short visit. This is the beginning of living on Mars. The crew will begin assembling the first operational base on Mars. They will set up solar arrays, chemical labs, communication stations, and water processing systems. The base must be self-sustaining. There is no quick rescue. Everything must work. This base will be the foundation for every future mission to Mars. If this journey is making you curious, take a second to hit like. It really helps bring these stories to more curious minds like you. And if you're enjoying the ride so far, make sure to subscribe to Cosmolore so you don't miss what's coming next. Alright, let's get back to the video. By 2037, one of the mission's key goals will be extracting water from Martian ice. Water is not just for drinking. It can be split into oxygen and hydrogen to make air and rocket fuel. If the crew can produce resources from Mars itself, they can survive longer, explore farther, and prepare for future return trips. Robotic rovers will work alongside the crew, scouting dangerous zones and assisting with heavy tasks. Humans will push farther from base, exploring rock formations, searching for signs of life, and collecting the first deep surface samples. This will be a mission unlike any other. Robots and humans will work together on a planet that has never known life. The search for signs of ancient microbial life will be a top priority. The crew will drill deep into Martian soil, exploring places untouched for billions of years. If life ever existed on Mars, it might be hiding there. Discovering even a trace of ancient life would change everything we know about the universe. By 2039, the crew may begin expanding their base with additional habitat modules and new scientific labs. The longer they stay, the more they will build. This base is not meant to be temporary. It is being designed to support future missions and maybe even permanent settlers. Return missions will require careful planning. The crew will prepare their ascent vehicle loaded with fuel possibly made on Mars. Sources suggest that the window for their return trip will open in 2040. The success of the entire mission will depend on whether the return rocket can launch safely from the Martian surface. If all systems hold, the crew will lift off from Mars in 2040, carrying samples, data, and their own survival story. The journey home will take months. Earth will be waiting. This mission will be remembered as one of the greatest human adventures ever attempted. After years in space, the crew will finally return to Earth. They will bring back the first pieces of Mars, the first-hand stories, and the proof that humans can live beyond our home planet. This will not be the end. It will be the beginning of something much bigger. The next Mars missions will already be on the way. After the first crew returns, Earth will be transformed. Public interest will skyrocket. Governments, private companies, and international partners will speed up new mission plans. The success will prove that humans can survive on Mars. But it will also push the question, how soon can we go back, and how soon can we stay? According to sources, the next Mars mission will not take decades. The second crew will likely be launched within just a few years. The goal will be to send more people, more supplies, and more advanced equipment. This mission will not just visit Mars, it will aim to build something that lasts. By 2042, new mission blueprints will focus on turning the temporary base into a long-term settlement. Larger habitats, faster communication systems, and better protection against radiation will be key. Sources suggest that Mars will no longer be seen as a distant outpost. It will become a working, growing human base. SpaceX, NASA, and other partners will likely establish more frequent cargo flights to Mars. New rockets will make supply runs more reliable. Some plans suggest cargo drops every 2 years, matching planetary alignments. A continuous supply chain is essential for keeping future crews alive and building permanent infrastructure. By 2043, the next Mars crews will begin training for much longer stays. This will not be a one-year trip. Sources suggest crews may stay for up to 3 years or more. These pioneers will not just explore, they will live, build, and prepare Mars for future generations. The second major crewed mission could launch around 2043 or 2044. This time, the crew will aim to stay longer and build bigger. They will expand the base, test sustainable life support, and push deeper into Martian exploration zones. The second mission will bring Mars closer to becoming a permanent human home. One of the biggest breakthroughs will be growing food on Mars. Sources suggest that by 2044, crews will attempt to grow plants in Martian greenhouses using recycled water and processed soil. This will not just be for fresh food, it will be a key step toward long-term independence from Earth. By 2045, robotic builders could play a major role on Mars. These machines will work around the clock to build structures, lay pathways, and prepare new habitats. Robotic construction will speed up Mars base growth while protecting humans from the harshest outdoor conditions. Mars will begin to look less like an alien world and more like a growing colony. Water is life. By 2045, Mars crews are expected to have fully operational water extraction systems. These systems will pull ice from beneath the surface and convert it into drinking water, oxygen, and fuel. Mastering this process will change everything. It will prove that humans can live using Martian resources. A reliable communication network is essential for a multi-mission Mars base. By 2045, sources suggest orbiting satellites will be deployed to provide faster, more stable links between Mars and Earth. This will reduce communication delays and allow near real-time data transfer. Mars will feel a little closer to home. By 2046, Mars will no longer be just a temporary research base. Sources suggest it will officially be recognized as a working human settlement. The focus will shift from short missions to long-term survival. More people will arrive. Larger crews, longer rotations, and a new mindset will take over. This is the beginning of humans living off Earth. Habitat designs will evolve to support more people. Inflatable modules will be connected into larger complexes with private living quarters, science labs, and indoor greenhouses. Radiation shielding will be improved. Comfort will still be limited, but the first signs of Martian neighborhoods will begin to take shape. By 2047, sources suggest Mars power systems will become fully local. Solar farms will grow, and nuclear power stations may be added to provide consistent energy. Reliable power will support life support systems, greenhouses, robotic construction, and advanced research. Mars will become less dependent on Earth with every power upgrade. SpaceX plans to make Mars trips a regular operation by 2047 or 2048. The company's long-term goal is to fly large groups of settlers to Mars every few years, building a population that can grow over time. The dream is not just to visit Mars, it is to live there, to stay, and to thrive. By 2048, more countries and companies will likely join the Mars effort. Japan, Europe, India, and private space groups may contribute habitats, rovers, and scientific missions. The Mars settlement will no longer be a national project. It will become a shared chapter in human history, built by people from all over the world. Farming on Mars will grow from experiments to full-scale food production by 2048 or 2049. The goal is to support crews with fresh food for years at a time, reducing the need for supply ships from Earth. Growing food successfully on Mars will be the turning point for building a self-sustaining colony. By 2049, some mission planners will start discussing generational settlements. This means not just temporary crews, but long-term residents who may live on Mars for most of their lives. Some sources suggest that families may one day settle there. The first discussions about raising children on Mars will begin. New transportation systems will be deployed by 2049 to help crews travel farther across the Martian surface. Pressurized rovers, underground tunnels, and faster exploration vehicles will allow humans to cover more ground safely. Mars will become more connected, and settlements will begin spreading beyond the first landing zones. By 2050, sources suggest that Mars settlements will be aiming for true independence. The long-term goal is to survive without constant supply drops from Earth. This means fully functional farming, local water production, energy independence, and the ability to manufacture tools and spare parts on Mars. When that day comes, Mars will not just be a colony, it will be a second home. By 2050, humanity may be living on 2 planets at once. A Mars settlement, though small, could be permanent. The first people to grow old on Mars may already be there. It will no longer be a distant dream. It will be our new reality. The technology developed for Mars will not just help astronauts, it will bring new solutions back to Earth. Advanced water recycling, energy-efficient systems, and lightweight materials created for Mars will be used in our homes, cities, and hospitals. The push to survive on Mars will create breakthroughs that can improve life here. Mars missions will unite countries like never before. No single nation can do this alone. The success of Mars exploration will prove that working together leads to something greater. This cooperation can set a new example for solving global problems like climate change and energy crises right here on Earth. The harsh Martian environment will teach us how to survive extreme situations. That knowledge will help us build safer habitats, emergency shelters, and survival systems that can protect people during natural disasters, space emergencies, and future climate challenges on Earth. Studying Mars will help us understand Earth's past and future. Mars is like a time capsule. By comparing the geology, atmosphere, and climate of both planets, scientists can better predict changes on Earth. The search for life on Mars will also push biology and medicine into new territories. Mars exploration will open the door to entirely new industries. Building on Mars will require space mining, in-space manufacturing, and energy production in deep space. The race to develop these industries will create jobs and new markets that could power economies for decades. Reaching Mars will expand the story of what it means to be human. For thousands of years, we have looked up at the stars. Now, we will walk among them. Mars will become part of our identity. It will reshape how we see ourselves as explorers, creators, and survivors. The Mars missions will inspire millions of young people to dream bigger. They will want to become scientists, engineers, pilots, and explorers. This new generation will carry the Mars legacy forward and push the boundaries even farther. The excitement around Mars will fuel curiosity and ambition for decades. Having a settlement on Mars gives humanity a backup in case disaster strikes Earth. It could protect our species from extinction caused by wars, pandemics, or asteroid impacts. Mars offers a second home. It is a long shot, but it is the best insurance plan we can build for the future. Living on Mars will teach us to adapt in ways we have never imagined. It will push us to become more resourceful, more careful, and more cooperative. Mars will help us build a stronger, more resilient human race capable of facing future challenges. The greatest benefit of all may be the legacy we leave behind. The first footprints on Mars will last for millions of years. Long after we are gone, future generations will remember that we dared to go farther. We did not just look at the stars, we reached them. When we look back from 2050, we will realize that building a home on Mars was not just about science. It was about pushing the limits of what humans can achieve. We will see that every launch, every landing, and every footprint on Mars was part of something much bigger. We reached for a new world, and we touched it. In just 25 years, humanity may go from dreaming about Mars to living there. That is one generation. A child born today could grow up in a world where humans walk on 2 planets. The future is not centuries away. It is already being built, right now. One day, the Mars missions will be taught in schools as history. Future children will grow up knowing that Mars was never out of reach. They will learn about the people who dared to go, the risks they took, and the world they helped create. Mars will not be a mystery. It will be part of their story. On Mars, we will leave more than machines and habitats. We will leave symbols of who we are, of what mattered to us. Flags, tools, writings, and messages for those who come next. The story of our time on Mars will outlast us. The red planet will carry our memory. The first step on Mars will not be the final step. It will be the start of a much longer journey. Mars will teach us new lessons, test our limits, and open doors we have not even imagined. From Mars, we will look even farther. We will keep going. You are living at the edge of one of humanity's greatest chapters. What will you do with this time? Will you follow the missions, contribute to science, or inspire others to reach farther? The Mars story is being written, and you are already part of it. Looking back at Earth from Mars will change us. It will make us realize how fragile our home is. Maybe Mars will remind us to take better care of the planet we already have. Maybe it will remind us to cherish what we could easily lose. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time, missions, and the future of Mars. It means something to walk through these questions together, to imagine what is possible, and to be part of this story. Your curiosity brought you here. Thank you for staying. If you want to keep exploring with me, if you want to hear more stories about space, science, and the human future, subscribe to Cosmolore. This is just one chapter. There is so much more waiting to be discovered. If this journey made you wonder, imagine, or dream, don't let it stop here. Hit that like button if Mars now feels just a little closer to you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What part of the Mars mission excites you the most? Is it the landing, the farming, or the idea of living on 2 planets? And if you want to keep exploring stories like this, where science meets the future, subscribe to Cosmolore. This is just the beginning, and I would love to have you with me for the next discovery.